Hi everyone. We're going to graph the secant line and find the equation of the secant line. We're also going to graph our problem here, which is number 3. I already did the other 3 videos on separately. And we're going to find the secant line from -1 to 1. We're also going to have to find our y value. So the first thing we do is just find the secant line. And recall that the secant line is just the average rate of change of this curve here from some x1 to some x2, x sub 2. You just connect those two, and that would be your average rate of change. So we want to go from -1 to 1. We don't have our y value, so let's find that. You just plug it in. That way we don't have to put it all together and do that. We're just doing that right now. So you have -1 squared minus 4 times -1 minus 5. So this is going to be 1 plus 4 minus 5. So 5 minus 5 is 0. Now let's plug in 1. You get 1 squared, which is 1, minus 4 minus 5. And that's going to give you -8. Now that we have our 2 points, point 1 and point 2, I can just use this equation, which makes it easy, and find my slope, or the secant line, basically. So you're going to get -8 minus 0 divided by 1 minus a -1, which is -8 divided by 2, which equals -4. I'll just put it on that side. Now we need to find our equation of our secant line. So I'm going to just use slope-intercept form. Plug in my -4 for my slope, and I'll go ahead and use this one, and plug in your x and y to find your b. So we have 0 equals -4 times -1 plus b. 0 equals 4 plus b, so clearly b is -4, because 4 minus 4 is 0. Y equals -4x minus 4. So all we're going to do is plug that back in, and now you have your equation of your secant line. All right, so now we're going to try to graph this as best as we can. We have -1, 0, and 1, -8. Let me write that down. -1, 0, 1, 8. All right, first of all, let's look at this. Our y-intercept is -5. So I'm going to do that first. So when x is 0, y is 5, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's your y-intercept. Let's find our x-intercepts by factoring this equation. So it's going to be x minus 5, x plus 1. So we get x equals 5 and x equals -1 when y is 0. And 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means my vertex is 3. See, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in 3 to find my vertex. I know that this is the midpoint. This is quadratic. So if I plug in 3 squared minus 12 minus 5. So you get 9 minus 17, which is, what is that? -8. So y would be -8. So that's down in here. So I can sketch the graph now. I'm going to go ahead and plot those. -1 is 0. We already have that. And 1 right here goes to 8. So let's go ahead and graph this here. So something like that. Now, what we want is the, sorry about that. What color was this? Blue. We want the average rate of change from here was it 1 and 8 or 1 and -8? Oh, it's 1 and -8. So 1 goes to -8. That was weird. All right. So we want the average rate of change of this curve right in here. All right. And we already know that the equation of the secant line was negative 4x minus 4. So we have a y-intercept at negative 4, which is right there. So let's try to connect these 3 dots. Here to there. That's your secant line. Slope of negative 4. If you extend it out a little bit, that gives you your whole equation of the secant line right there. All right, and that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Oh, and let me put this as negative 8. So y'all know I know that's negative 8. All right, that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.